Yeah. It always has to be there. Okay, good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? How are we doing today? You're tired on a Tuesday. Excited, that's more like it. Okay. Before I go any further, I go by the name of Afika. Not Africa, it's just Afika. And I'm going to be your trainer for today. And today's session is called Platform Setup. So can we start with this evaluation form? The name of the course is Platform Setup. And my name is Afika. And you can fill in the rest of the information at the top there. Now, this is called an evaluation form. It's basically for you to evaluate how you found the course. If you found the course good, you can give me a 5. If you find that it was bad, you can give me a 0. There's comment boxes everywhere if you have anything that you want to say. And I also just want to touch at the bottom. Can you all see the bottom part? The safety procedures. For instance, if something was to happen, okay, we've got an emergency exit on the left. We've got the front door. And we've got another emergency exit towards the back office. We've got fire extinguishers located near the toilets. And scattered around the office, we have our first aiders. So if you weren't feeling well, for instance, you can just go to one of the staff members, and our first aid kit is at the back office. So let's get to business. Let's get to business. What is the first thing that we do in this class? Can you repeat that?
Greet your neighbor.
Have you greeted your neighbors?
Yes.
Greet all of them now. Let's greet our neighbors. Greet your neighbor with a smile. You will need your neighbor for this session. Because the first thing we are going to do is, we are going to take down notes. Okay? We're going to take down quite a few notes today. You can take pictures. And please, humble yourself. If you're at the back and you know that your camera quality is not good, come to the front and take your picture. Are we all together? So that's the first thing we're going to do today. Take down some notes, and then we're going to go through it together. So we are going to start with the first slide. Let's take those notes down.
I was waiting.
You've got something in there.
Thank you.
Okay, let's take our pictures. Let's write the notes down. Give you another minute. Sorry. Are we done with the first slide?
Yes.
Can hear you guys. Are we done with the first slide?
Yes.
I don't have a no. Remember guys, you came here alone.
No.
Thank you. I'll give you more time. You came here alone. Don't go with what your neighbor is saying. If you are not done, please let me know. I'm going to go to the next slide. If you are falling behind, I don't want you to worry. When we have a break or after the session, I'll go back to the slides that you didn't get. I don't want us to waste too much time on the writing of notes. There's the second page. Let's take our pictures. Let's write it down. I'll give you another minute. I'll make it 2 minutes. You like this video? Okay, I'm going to the next slide. Let's take our pictures and let's write down. Can I go to the next slide? Can't hear you guys?
Yes.
You guys are sleeping today, no? Write that down. We're almost done. We're almost done. Give you another minute.
Looking for Robert. Robert in table.
Okay, are we done? Can hear you guys?
Yes.
Okay. So let us continue. So like I said, today's session is about setting up the platform. So we are going to log into the Pro Trader so that you know what's going on. Can you see the two icons on my screen?
Yes.
I've got Pro Trader Demo and I've got what? Pro Trader SA. The Pro Trader SA is your live account of which you log into using the live account details that were emailed to you. Do we all have our live account details? Not yet. Okay. Even if you don't have it yet, you will get that email as soon as you validate your email. Okay. You'll get a username. It should be a number and a very funny, difficult password. Is the password difficult?
No.
Yeah. It's not difficult. It's difficult. Do you like it? You don't like it. The person that's trying to hack your account won't like it as well. That's why we make it so difficult. And you have your username and password for the demo account as well. It's separate. You cannot log in with your live account details on your demo account. You have to create the demo account yourself, or the support team will create the demo account for you. Are we together? So I'm going to log into my live account. Click on Pro Trader SA. That's where I put in my username. Okay, you're all gonna get this update, so you just have to click on download and install. It's always gonna pop up when there's an update due. Okay, let me install it. Any time now? So that's where I type in my username, and that's where I type in my password. Can you guys see the lock there? If it's unlocked like that, it means it's not saving your password. So what you want to do is you want to click on that lock, and you see what it says there? Remember credentials. That's if you don't always want to type in that password. Are we all together?
Yes.
And then I log in. Are we all looking at the screen? This is what your Pro Trader setup should look like. This is what your workspace should look like. It should be divided into 4 blocks. Block 1, the watch list. Block 2, which is the chart. Block 3, which is the order entry. And block 4, which is your positions. Block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4. Are we all together? So now, I log into my Pro Trader at night. Let's say I want to practice. And when I log in, I get to a blank display like this. What is the first thing you're going to do when you get to a blank display like this? You want to start trading, you want to practice, but you get to a blank display. What is the first reaction? Go out and come back again. Are you not going to firstly panic? You want to place a trade, but you get to a blank display, you're going to panic. And the next thing you're going to do is, let me call Africa. No, I'm trying to avoid that. Now, do you remember the first steps that you wrote down?
Yeah.
It says here, to open a new workspace. What is the first step?
Click on professional.
Second step.
Go to Workspace.
And third step.
Click on professional light or professional.
So let's go to the platform. Can you all see the menu bar there on top?
Yes.
And below that, can you see the icon bar?
Yeah.
This is where you get all your shortcuts now. But let's say you close your watch list by mistake. I can just click on watch list there, and it will pop up my watch list again. It's for the shortcuts. But we want to add a new workspace, am I correct?
Yeah.
What are the steps?
Click on environment.
Can you all see environment there?
Yes.
Next step. And then,
Click on professional light.
let me first start off by showing you the dark one. It just has a black background. Are we together?
Yeah.
But I prefer the light one because I feel I can actually see better with it. So, environment, workspace is what? Professional light. But now, you don't want to have too many workspaces open. You see at the bottom there, I already have 2 open.
Yeah.
Look at what happens when I open the third workspace. You are going to get this error. Current panel is not allowed in the rule set. So you must always make sure you have 1 workspace open. So if I want to close the workspaces, can you see next to professional dark there's a cross? I click on the cross, I don't save. I click on the cross, I don't save. So how do I open a workspace? Please tell me. Professional light. Are we all together?
Yes.
So I've opened now my workspace. And I want it to be the watch list at number 1, the chart on block 2, order entry on block 3, positions on block 4. This is how it's supposed to be. Are we all there?
Yes.
Now, we are going to start off with block 1. Just want to do something here quickly. Let me just make it bigger. On my watch list here, can you see any companies that are CFDs? How do you identify if it's a CFD? It's written, right? CFD. Can you see any companies that are not CFDs on this watch list? So the first thing we want to do is we want to remove everything that's not a CFD on the watch list. Okay? Do you guys prefer the lights on or lights off? Off or on? Let me leave it as it is. But can we see? Can we see properly? Please, if you can't see and you're at the back, please humble yourself and come to the front. Yes?
Why don't you switch it off and see how it's going to look like, and then you can switch it on.
Okay, let's see. Is it better?
It's way better, guys.
For me. Okay, guys, majority rules. Majority rule.
Let's vote.
I feel like, okay, let's vote.
Yes.
Lights on, can we get the hands?
Obvious.
Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to remove everything that's not a CFD on this watch list because we're only trading CFDs. Are we there? So, going to our second slide, what does it say there? I believe that there's a lot of us here. I expect to hear everyone. And click on remove selected symbol. So let's go and do that. AUD CAD, is that a CFD? That's Forex, so I want to remove it. I select the code, right click for options. Can you see remove selected symbol? Select the code, right click for option, remove selected symbol. Select, right click and remove. There's no delete option on this trading platform. You can only remove something because you might want to add it again. Are we all there? So now I want to add some codes on my watch list. Let's go read and see what it says. To add a code on the watch list, what is the first step? Press enter. So this is what I mean when I say select the watch list. I click anywhere on the watch list, and you see that there's a blue borderline surrounding it. That means I'm now on the watch list. Are we together? Yes. So select the watch list. What is the next step? Right click. Let's humble ourselves and go back to our notes. You select the code. I mean what? Select the watch list and what? Do what? Type the code. Select the CFD and so I've selected my watch list now. So I'm just going to type a code that I want to add. Let's say I want to add MTN. I just type MTN. Which option do I choose? And then I do what? Press enter. If I want to add Vodacom, I type VOD, select the CFD, and press enter. Are we together? Yes. Which other companies do you want us to add? Just companies you are curious about? Sasol, SOL. First Rand. What other companies? Pardon? Shell. Let's see. Is Shell available to trade? Look at this. Can you see that plus button there? Let's see what happens if I type Shell. Is it there? Yeah. So I can add it. That's a first. Are we all there? Yeah. Which other company? Exaro. Let me add Nedbank. Standard Bank. Which one? Eskom. Let's go see. I click on the plus. I type Eskom. Is anything appearing? No. So I've just added some companies now on my watch list. Okay. So when you have a look at this watch list here, what do you think the function of the watch list is? How the companies are performing, the companies you want to track, the companies you want to trade with. But basically the watch list is for you to watch. Are we all together? Yes. And the maximum number of companies you can add on a single list is 40 companies. That's the maximum number of companies you can add on one list, 40. Are we all there? Yes. So now let's analyze this watch list and see what's going on. Can you see where it says symbol? Yes. It's basically the company codes, right? Yes. Description, it's basically the company's name. Are we all together? Yes. But there's certain columns I want to see and there's certain columns I don't want to see. Remember we wrote this down? Recommended columns on the watch list. What are they? Symbol, change, last, high, and volume. But now, how do I add or remove a column on this watch list? What is the first step? Second step? And third step? That's what I want us to do now. I want us to add these columns on the watch list. So, the first step is point on column name. Do you see all the column names there? I point on any one of them, and then I just right-click for options. Can you see what appears?
Yes.
Let me just repeat. I point on any of the column names, and I right-click. I don't want to see description. I don't want to see exchange. I don't want to see last update. The last price must be there. I don't want to see bid. I don't want to see ask. I want to see both changes. I want to see high, low, and I also want to see what? Volume. These are the main columns I actually want you to have on your watch list. But if you want to add more, let's say you want to see the opening price for the day or the closing price for the previous day, you know how to do it. You know how to add on your watch list. Are we all together? So I want the changes to be next to each other. Can you see these changes there? I want to drag it and put it next to the other change. So let me explain what the change is. The change is basically how the company has performed since the market closed at 5 o'clock yesterday. That's how the company has done since the market opened today. Are we all together? For instance, look at Exaro. How has Exaro done since 9 o'clock this morning? How do you tell if it's good? Because it's green. Exaro has gone up by how much? 1 rand 53 since 9 o'clock this morning. If you did a long trade with Exaro at 9 o'clock this morning, you are currently smiling. Because it's currently 1 rand 53 times the number of shares that you bought. Or if you look at Vodacom, Vodacom has gone up by 45 cents since 9 o'clock this morning. If you did a long trade with Vodacom at 9 o'clock this morning, you are currently what? Smiling, because it's going according to your prediction. How has Nedbank done since 9 o'clock this morning? It's gone down, right? If you did a short trade with Nedbank at 9 o'clock this morning, you are currently what? Smiling, because it's going according to your prediction. Now, for my people that weren't here yesterday, I know that you might be a bit lost when you talk about long or short. Let me just give you a minor description of what we're talking about. A long trade is called a buy, when you are predicting that the share is going to go where? Up. A short trade is called a sell, when you are predicting that the share is going where? Down. Trading is about two things: direction, up or down. If you say that the share is going up and it starts going up, you make money. If you say that the share is going down and it starts going down, you make what? Money. It's all about prediction. And please, when we have a break, I want you to come take some notes that we went through yesterday on CFDs so that you can go home and actually catch up on what we did yesterday. Are we all together? So you see the change in rands and you also see the change in percentage. Now, I believe that we've watched the news. We've all watched the news at some stage, am I correct? Ever noticed the numbers at the bottom of the news? Where you see a green arrow pointing up or red arrow pointing down? It's that change that you'll be seeing on the news. If you were to go to the news now, it will be live. You'll just see, for instance, Exaro, 148 with a green arrow pointing up. Are we together? Can't hear you guys?
Yes.
And then can you see where it says last? Can we see last?
Yes.
Last is the current trading price. I just want you to write that down quickly. Write down last price. The last price is the current trading price. Last price is the current trading price. Hey guys, can you see Forex? Look at what's happening on that chart. It's deep. It's very deep. Last price is the current trading price. Current trading price. So whenever you see the word last, you must instantly note the current price. For instance, right now, Woolworths is trading at 57 Rand 43 as we speak. Right now, Standard Bank is sitting at 179 Rand 82 as we speak. It's the live feed. Are we all together? That's the current price of that company as we speak. And then can we see high and low? The high is basically the highest point that the share has gone up to since 9 o'clock this morning. And the low is the lowest that the share has gone down to since 9 o'clock this morning. Are we all together? Yes. It's the highest and the lowest price. And then can you see that last column, volume? The volume is basically the quantity of shares that have been traded with for each company since 9 o'clock this morning. It's the quantity of shares that have been traded with since 9 o'clock this morning. Okay, let me just switch on the light so you can write that down. The volume is the quantity of shares. Quantity of shares that have been traded with for each company since 9 o'clock this morning. Quantity of shares that have been traded with for each company since 9 o'clock. Quantity of shares that have been traded with since 9 o'clock this morning. That's what the volume is. Quantity of shares. Yeah. So for instance, let's say I did a buy, 50,000 shares, and you did a sell, 30,000 shares. That's already a volume of what? 80,000 combined with that specific company. Are we all together? Yes. Now, for instance, can you look at First Rand? What is the volume on First Rand? Let's humble ourselves. Let's just say 1 million. Let's not attempt it. Let's not attempt it. It's just 1 million. It's not even 11 o'clock yet. And the volume is already 1 million shares. Does that not raise your curiosity? Now you want to find out what's going on with First Rand. Is something good happening with FSR? Maybe I can do a long trade. Is something bad happening with FSR? Maybe I can do a short trade. But the higher that volume is, the higher your curiosity should be with that company. And I'll tell you, on average, for each company by 5 o'clock every day, the average volume is usually 1 million, 2 million shares. Are we all there? Like, you know, when you're on the freeway and you see an accident, don't you slow down? You slow down because you want to see, right? Everyone is there. Take it the same with the volume. But you tend to regret it sometimes when you see that accident. It's rough. So like I said, these are the basic columns I want you to have on this watch list. If you want to add more, you know how to do so. Are we all there? Yes. I can't hear you guys? Yes. So, do you understand what we're doing so far? And you guys are actually fortunate, because our next slide was going to be what? How to do what? Change colors on the watch list. But I see that the latest update of ProTrader does it for you. So we don't really need to go through this process again. Are we all together? You saw when I arrived there, I updated it. And I just noticed now that it actually gives you the colors automatically. Usually you had to actually do those colors on your own. Are we all together? Now, on this ProTrader, nothing is saved automatically. You might log out now, and when you log back in at home, you find that your watch list is gone. You don't want to go and add these companies over and over again, am I correct? Yes. So you need to save your watch list. You need to save it. So can we all see the save button there? Yes. Do you see the drop down arrow next to it? Yes. I click on save as. and I can give it a name. Okay, let me name it Banyana Banyana. And those ladies did well. I say, okay. What does my watch list say now? Can you see that I've named it? And look at this. When I click on that name, can you see I have several other watch lists that I've saved? What is the first one? Can you just repeat that? Orlando Pirates is the what? Okay. What does the next one say? Weak Kaiser Chiefs. Let's not fight it, guys. Chelsea is the best. Sorry, Man United. Younger Idols winner. Champions League. Banyana Banyana. You can have several watch lists on your watch list. Because pardon? You can have it per day, but it's always the live feed that's going to be going on. Because let's say, for instance, you want to group all the banks on one list. You want to group all the retailers on one list. You want to group all the cheap companies on one list. All your Forex companies on one list. You can do so, but you need to save it. Are we all there? Yes. And you know, like when you're typing a document, you want to keep on saving so that you don't lose your progress. Am I correct? Yes. Am I correct? Can you see that settings button up there? Yes. Do you see the floppy disk next to it? Yes. It's called the Save Workspace button. So I click on it. And let me just give it a name. Banyana Banyana. I say save. Now I've actually saved my workspace. Do you remember what we did first? We opened a new workspace, am I correct? Yes. Now let's say, for instance, I close this workspace. Do you want to open a new one, or do you want to open the one that you've saved already? The one that you've saved, am I correct? Yes. So what are the steps? To load a saved workspace. What is the first step? Second step? Third step? So I click on environment. I click on load workspace. Which one do I want to load? Let's say open. It will actually reopen the previous workspace that I actually saved. Are we all together? Yes. Are we all together with regards to the watch list now? Yes. Any questions before I go to block 2? We are all sorted. Yes.
On my watch list, they have
Do you see it's not available?
It means it's not.
Basically not listed to trade with on our trading platform. No wonder I was hearing it for the first time. Can I remove it? How do I remove it? I don't need you guys to go back to your notes now. You should memorize all of this. You must understand. You select it, right click and remove. Select, right click, remove. I've just removed something now. I just go and click on save so that I update my watch list. How do I add a company? I have to select the watch list. As you can see, the blue borderline. I type the code. Let me type this, the price, MRP. Select the CFD, and I press what? Enter. And I do what? Save. Are we all together? Yes.
Also use that,
the plus. Because the plus is when you don't know the company. I mean, you don't know the code. You just go to plus, and you can type, for instance, Vodacom. It will actually appear there. Are we all together? If you're not sure about the code, just type the company that you want, and you can actually pick it up from there. Are we all together? Any more questions with regards to the watch list? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Yes.
Okay, this CFD is an abbreviation for what?
Contract for difference. It's contract on the notes that I'm going to give you, because I know you went here yesterday. You understand what contract for difference is. Are we all there?
What term?
At what time do you get the live feed on the watch list? As soon as the market opens at 9 o'clock, that's when you start seeing activity. But with regards to CFDs, at 5 o'clock, everything just stands still, because you can't do anything after 5 o'clock. It's only Forex whereby you'll see the movement, because Forex is 24 hours. Are we all there?
Yes.
So let's go to block 2, the chart. But even before I go through the chart, do you notice that on each block here, there's a red dot there? There's a red dot. There's a red dot. There's a red dot. That means that your screens are linked together. For instance, if I click on MTN, do you see that the chart also changes to MTN? The information on block 3 also changes to MTN. Because if I change this color and make it purple, when I click on Mr. Price, do you see that the chart didn't change? But the information on block 3 changed. The danger of that now is that you analyze the wrong chart and place the wrong trade. So make sure that the colors are the same. If you make it purple, 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 it's fine. They must just be the same for each block. Are we there? So let me change it back to red. And you'll notice it will change like the other blocks. Now, can you see this chart properly, or is it a bit too small? You can't really make out what's going on there, am I correct? Do you see next to that red dot, there's a small box? It's called the full screen button. Next to that red dot, you click on that small box. It's called the full screen button to maximize your chart. Are we all together? Now you need to understand what's going on here on this chart. So I want us to write this down. This is what you can actually do on your chart. Let's take our pictures, let's write it down. Okay, guys. He needs a pen. Who is the first person he must ask? Who is the first person you ask if you don't have a pen? Your neighbor, right? Question is, you greet your neighbor. If he didn't greet you, don't look at him. Don't look at him, don't give him a pen. But does anyone have an extra pen? Are you sorted? Thank you. Say thank you, neighbor. Thank you, neighbor. Give you another minute. Okay. So, who knows what type of chart this is? Who knows what type of chart this is? It's called the candlesticks. It's the candlestick chart. Okay? Now, this is how the candlesticks work. At the bottom, can you see I have a time period? To the right, can you see I have the share price? So at the bottom, it's the time, and to your right, it's the share price. Are we all there? Can you see this chart properly, or is it a bit too compressed? It's not a bit compressed. Can you make out what's going on? Look to the bottom right corner of the screen. I have a plus button to zoom in. I have a minus button to zoom out. You can zoom in and out of these live charts. Are we there? Now, this is how a candlestick works. To my top left corner, can you see where it says time 1 minute? It simply means that each candlestick you see here represents a movement of 1 minute. That's 1 minute, 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 etc. Are we together? For instance, if I point on that candlestick, what was the time and date? Can you see it's the 4th of December at 3 minutes past 10? Do you see it there at the bottom? How much was the share where I'm pointing at right now? Where do I see it? To the right, am I correct? So it tells me at the bottom, that was the date and time of that candlestick. And to the right side of the screen, the share was 250 Rand 47. Are we all there? Do you want to see your chart on a 1 minute movement? You want to see your chart based on a 1 minute movement? No. You'll get very emotional. You'll see going down, up, down, up, down, up. You don't want to see that instant movement. You want to see your chart on at least an hourly basis, 4 hours, or 1 day. So if, for instance, if I put it on an hour, each candlestick is going to represent a movement of an hour. From 9 to 10, you'll see a candlestick. From 10 to 11, you'll see a candlestick. From 11 to 12, you see another candlestick. Are we all together? I just go and click on my time. Let's say, for instance, I want to see the candlesticks for a day. I click on 1 day. Now, it simply means that every candlestick you see here represents a day. That's today, yesterday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Because you set your candlesticks to be on a 1 day basis. Are we all there? Yes. Now, do you see that there's 2 candlesticks here? There's a green and there's a red candlestick. What does the green candlestick mean? Not necessarily long trade, but it just simply means that the share is going where? If the candlestick is red, it means that the share is going down. Are we all together? This is called the bullish candle. That is called the bearish candle. Have you ever heard of that phrase, the bulls and the bears? I want to hear the no's. Have you ever heard of the phrase, the bulls and the bears? No. Okay, let me explain it to you. How do bulls fight? Do the movement. Where do they take you? Up. That's why the green candle is called the bull candle. How do bears fight? They take you where? So the red candle is referred to as the bearish candle. So whenever you hear the bulls and the bears, you must understand it's up and down. Are we all together? Yes. I might walk in here one day and say, today we are looking at a very bearish market. Don't look at me and think, hey, this guy is clever. You know what it means. And when you go home today and you give your family feedback, how did it go today? Just say bulls and the bears. See how they compare. Are we all together? Show that you are learning something here. So let me just do this. I have the bull candle and I have the bear candle. Now, do you see on the blue candle, I've labeled number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. On that bull candle, which number do you think is the opening price? Which number do you think represents the opening price?
Number 2.
Number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4? 2. The opening price is at number 2, and the closing price is at number 3. It's referred to as the body of the candle. That's the actual movement that happened on that specific day. Are we all together? Yes. And on the red candle, where's the opening price? Number 3. And the closing price is at? Number 2. Let me just show you something here. For instance, can you see this candlestick here? At what price did it open at? At what price did it close at? That's the actual movement that happened for that specific day. Over here, we opened at what price? We closed at what price? So there was not much movement on that specific day. Are we together? And if you want to see the opening price and the closing price precisely, you can just point on a candlestick. Can you see there at the top? There's open, there's high, there's low, closing price, change. Can you all see that? Can't hear you guys? Yes. Look at the top here. When I point on a candlestick, do you see it shows me the opening price? It also shows me the closing price. The high, the low, and the change. Are we all there? And then do you notice that on almost each of these candlesticks, you have a small pin at the top or a small pin at the bottom? Can you see that? That is basically the highest that the share went up to for that day, and it actually came back down again. And that is the lowest the share has gone down to since 9 o'clock today, and it actually went back up again. For instance, I'm holding a brick here. I throw the brick on the ceiling. The brick comes back, am I correct? Yes. But it leaves evidence that at some stage I was actually there. So it's the highest and the lowest price of the day. Are we all together? Yes. Do you see where it says 6 months? Yeah. If I click there, I can choose 15 years. It simply means that I can view the information of this company for the past 15 years, or from at least when it was first listed in the JSE. How do I go back? You see next to the plus and minus button? I can just scroll back in time. What date was it there where I'm pointing right now? 15th of June. Are we all together? How much was the share where I'm pointing at? 111 Rand? 36. Where is the share sitting at right now? 2 what? 52. So since 2012, can you see that the share has just been going up for Mr. Price? Because let's say you want to see, how does Mr. Price usually perform in the month of December? Let me check last year, December. Let me check 2017. Let me check 2016, 2015. You might even pick up that there's a certain trend that company does at that specific time of the year. Are we all together? Yeah. What we are basically doing now is called technical analysis. Technical analysis is when you analyze the chart to actually get a trade. Because you are not always going to trade with good or bad news. Sometimes you need to analyze the chart to forecast what's actually going to happen. That's what I'm going to teach you on Friday, charting analysis. It's a very important class. In that class, I will teach you how to create your own trades, how to create your own targets, your own stop losses, how to actually analyze on your own. Are we all there? It's called technical analysis. So get home again today. How did it go? Technical analysis. See how they look at you. My mom is getting clever. Are we together? Can you see where it says style? I can choose the line chart. I can choose the bar chart. Does the bar chart look complicated? It's actually the same as the candlestick. On the green bar, that's the opening price. That's the closing price. That's the high and that's the low. On the red, that's the opening price. That's the closing price, the high and the low. It's just that it doesn't have a body. Are we there? Yes. Would you like us to use the dots?
No.
It's horrible, right? You like the dots? Oh, we are different people. Okay, maybe the dotted line. So now you know from dot to dot it's a day. Dot to dot it's a day, or dot to dot it's an hour, whichever time period you specify. Histogram? Much better. And this one is deep. And we have the area chart. You choose what type of chart you want to use, but the mostly used charts is the candlesticks because they give you much more information. Are we all together? Now, let's say you want to add a time period of your own. Because you see the options I have here. 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, 1 day, 1 week, 2 months. Let's say I'm a long-term trader and I want to see the chart of every 5 months, for instance. Can you see where it says edit? I click on edit. Do you see the plus sign there? Click on the plus. I said I want to see a month chart. 5 months. I say apply. Apply. And when I go back there, do you see now my 5 months is there? Yes. So now each candlestick you see here represents a movement of 5 months. Are we all together? You can create a time period of your own. So those are the basics I'm going to teach you about when it comes to candlesticks. But we are going to cover more, like I said, on Friday, on the charting analysis class. But are we together so far with regards to what we've done? Do you have any questions for me so far? Remember, you came alone. If there's something you don't understand, please don't hesitate to ask me. I will repeat it until you understand. There we go.
Like I wanted to ask, no? When you trade in terms of the period of time, is there a difference for someone who trades hourly and someone who trades like a day, like in terms of making a profit? Who does make a profit more to
Well, you can't really say that a person that trades with an hour candle makes more money. Because I can put my chart on a day. We place the trade at the same time. The movement that's happening with you is also happening with me, but you just want to see it for every single hour. It just depends on how you do your analysis and what you actually prefer. But when you trade, you want to at least use a day, because the day shows you a trend, because if I go to an hour now, am I really clear as to what's happening in the market? But you see, when you go on a day, you basically say, okay, that today we've actually been going up. But like I said, it depends. In the Friday class, you're going to understand why. Yes, Maria. Something similar. Okay. That question I can't really answer until you read the notes that I'm going to give you for yesterday. Because it's just a matter of you now understanding how to place a trade and how it actually works. Because when you get into a trade, you put down a deposit. Let's say for this trade, I'm putting down a deposit of 1,000 Rand. Then whatever you're going to make or whatever you're going to lose is going to be added to your balance. So I'll explain it better when you come again tomorrow. I need you to go through those notes, understand what a long trade is, understand the short trade, the margin list, etc. Are we all together? Yes. I don't want to go back now to yesterday's session. Are we all there? But are we clear with regards to the chart? You have a question?
So let me say we're trading a daily chart. Right? So when we're trading a daily chart, do we eventually trade a breakout of the daily chart or go to a lower time frame?
You guys are getting deep now. And the neighbors are looking at you like, yeah, this guy is clever. This guy is clever. What is that question? I don't want us to discuss technicals today. Okay? I want us to stick to the basic because I'm introducing you to the platform. But please, on Friday, I want you to ask me every single question that you can think of with regards to technical analysis. I want us to all be on one path. Is that okay? I don't want you to get confused because we have to take it step by step. Yes.
So they can represent the hour of the.
If you are specifying an hour, it will show you the movement of every hour.
So when it goes to the down, how does it jump to the?
When it goes,
Actually, it's the green.
it's green now, yes?
And when it goes to red,
It means that the share is actually going down again.
draw another candle.
No, remember, this is a candle for a whole day. So this candle will only end at 5 o'clock. It can be green now, but once the share goes down and goes down below where it actually opened, you'll see it turning red. Do you understand what I mean? It will change the color if it actually goes down. It will become red. It's green now because the share is going where? Out. Are we all together?
Yes.
Yes?
If they have to be south, is it possible to analyze two companies at the same time?
Yes, it's possible. I will show you that on Friday as well. That's called an overlay. Okay, but let me not get deep. Let me not get deep. But are we together before we go on?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going back to that question. So the green is going good for the day, right?
So
And
far today.
So far
today.
So if it goes red, it will change color.
It will change the color.
It will change the color.
Yes.
The same color.
Yes. Because look, if I put it on, for instance, 4 hours. My internet is just messing up. Oh, let me put it on 1 minute so you can see what I mean here. Can you see that this candle just started?
Yeah.
How many seconds are left before the next candle forms? You see to the bottom right corner?
Oh, okay.
So in 38 seconds, I'm going to get another candlestick that will form. It's forming for the next minute. Are we all together?
Oh. Okay.
I like that expression.
Oh.
You see that a lot of people said, oh, but they didn't even ask the question. Now they say, oh, say thanks to your neighbor. So the time now is 5 to 11. I'm going to give you guys a 25-minute break. And then when you come back, I want us to come back fresh because we are going to get deep. We are going to learn how to place a trade. I need you to come back fresh. Don't eat too much pop and come back sleeping. I need your full attention when it comes to this part. So let's be back here at 20 past 11 sharp. For everyone that's online, we are taking a break and we'll be back at 20 past 11. Yes. I can't hear you guys. Shall I continue?
Yes.
There we go. So like I said, we are now on block 3, which is your order entry, and this is where you place all your trades. So on this order entry, what is the first thing that you see? Can you all see where it says symbol?
Yes.
First things first, you need to make sure you are trading with the right company. You need to be on the right company. Are we there?
Yeah.
What do you see next?
Side.
The side. Either you buy or you what?
Side.
So you know when you're doing a long trade, you click on buy. When you are doing a short trade, you click on sell. Now, do you see these two values here? That blue value and that red value there. I'll explain it first and I'll give you a chance to write down, but just pay attention. This blue value here is called bid, and the red value is called ask. Bid and ask. The bid is basically the buyer's price, and the ask is the seller's price. It's the buyers and the sellers. Now let me ask you a question. If I'm doing a long trade, I click on the buy button, am I correct? Do I buy from the buyers or do I buy from the sellers? You buy from someone that's selling something, am I correct? So you must always know, whenever you are doing a buy, you are buying at the red amount. That's where your entry will be, that's where your target will be, that's where your stop loss will be. If you are doing a short trade, you click on sell. Do you sell to the sellers or do you sell to the buyers? So whenever you are doing a sell, you are selling at the blue amount. You buy from the sellers, you sell to the buyers. Yes. I'll go through it again, don't worry. When we are doing a long trade, a buy, when you are predicting that the share is going up, you click on buy. Are we there? Now my question is, do you buy from the buyers or do you buy from the sellers? You buy from someone that's selling something, am I correct? Yes. So whenever you are doing a buy, that's the value you are going to enter at. If I clicked on this place order button right now, I'm going to buy the share at 251.22. If you're doing a short trade, you click on sell. Do you sell to the sellers or do you sell to the buyers? So whenever you are doing a short trade, a sell, if I clicked on this place order button right now, I will get into this trade at 251.08. Are we all together? Yes. So I want you to draw this so that you don't forget. You buy from sellers, you sell to the buyers. You can just take a picture as well. Whenever I'm buying at the red. Whenever I'm selling at the. I don't have a port there. I can't see that. You should charge the phone with your laptop.
Yeah, and what?
You don't have a port. Laptop.
What?
No, I mean the USB cable. I have the cable. You buy from sellers, you sell to the buyer. Are we done? So let me ask you a question. If I clicked on this place order button right now, at what price would I enter it?
51.73.
But you want to understand that we're now looking at the blue.
Yes.
Because we're on what? Sell. Are we together? And then can we also see where it says quantity? Quantity is the number of shares. But for today's class, for everything we're going to do, we're going to use a default quantity of 100 shares. Because I still need to teach you how to come about getting the right number of shares on Thursday. So just for today, we'll be using 100. I'm not saying go to your live account now and type in 100 shares and place a trade. No. Just for today's purposes, we are going to use 100 shares as default. Are we there? And then, can you all see where it says order type? We use two types of orders when we execute our trades. We use the market order type and we use the limit order type. So let's start by writing these notes down. Give me a second. Can you write this down? We are going to compare the two order types, market and limit. Write it down and then I'm going to explain it to you. Take our pictures. I'll give you another minute. Or if you've missed something, when we are done with the class, I'll just go back to all the slides that you actually didn't get. Okay. Can you read what it says under market? What does it say? With market, you enter a trade immediately at the available price. In brackets, it says bid or ask. Who wants to try and explain that to me? What do you think it means? Enter a trade immediately at the available price. In brackets, bid or ask. What do you think it means? I know you're thinking of something, just say it. I can't hear you guys. You automatically place your trade
At the price that is available.
at the current price. You all hear that? With market, you enter immediately at the available price. That simply means that you get in now. You don't wait for anything. As soon as you click on the place order button, if you are doing a buy, you will get in immediately at 252.54. If you are doing a sell, you will get in immediately at 252 what? 25. You enter instantly at the current price. So if an SMS comes out and the SMS says, Woolworths buy at 50. And when you log in, Woolworths is trading at 50. Do you have to wait or do you want to get it now?
No.
Because it's exactly where you want it. Are we all there? And then, what does it say under limit? With limit, you place an order to enter at a specific price. Who wants to try and explain that to me? It doesn't play now.
I think it's like this
Not necessarily the percentages.
I think if I've targeted to buy a share of 200 rand, then I wait for it for them to go.
Do you all hear that? Can you say it out louder?
If I've targeted the price to go down at 200 rand, that's when I'll be able to place the order.
You all hear that? With limit, you specify the price that you want to enter at. You don't get in immediately. So if an SMS says buy at 50, and when you log in, the share is already on 52, you are going to say, no, I don't want to enter at 52. I only want to enter once the share hits 50. Let me show you here. Do you see that with market? There's no price there. Because when you use market, you enter at one of these two prices. When I'm buying, I will enter at that price. When I'm selling, I will enter at that price. But look at when I click on limit. Do you see that there's a price that appears?
Yes.
So I can say, I don't want to enter immediately at 253.14. I only want to enter once the share hits 251. You will not get kicked into the market until that share price hits the 251 that you specified. Are we all together? So you get an SMS that says buy at 100. When you log in, that asking price is at 102. It's already gone. So you are going to say, no, I choose limit and specify that you only want to enter at 100. Let me make this practical for you. Let's say you catch a bus. The bus has already left. It's now at engine garage. Are you going to chase after that bus, or are you going to wait for the next one?
No.
You might be an athlete. Try to chase that bus, but before you even get there, the bus leaves again. And then I ask you, what? What if it doesn't leave? Then you are fortunate. And then I ask you, yes? I'm getting to that now. So if the bus is already left, you don't want to chase it, right? You want to specify that I only want to get it at this bus stop. You are hoping that the bus will reverse, get you at the bus stop, and then go with you. But I think the only time that would happen is if you call a taxi. I don't think a bus will reverse for you. I think we all know that. And then I ask you, can I catch the bus if it's just here in front of me? When I say in front of me, I'm saying if the share is still within a vicinity of 10 cents above or 10 cents below the price that you want, you can still get it now with market because it's just here. Are we all together?
Yes.
If it's already left, I don't want to chase it. I want to specify that I only want to catch it at this point. Are we all together so far?
Yes.
Now, can you see where it says TIF? Firstly, TIF stands for time in force, okay? When you are using the limit order type, you have two options that you can use under TIF. You can use the day option, or you can use the GTC option. But it is always preferable that when you use the limit order type, you use the day option. Because it simply means that if the value I specified I want to enter at is not reached by 5 o'clock today, that order must just automatically cancel. I don't lose anything, I don't make anything because I never entered the market. If the bus does not come back for me by 5 o'clock, let it go. The trip is canceled. You don't pay anything, you don't lose anything. Are we together? Yes. Because if you use GTC, GTC stands for good till cancel. It means that your order will stay there for 90 days. Do you want your order to stay there for 90 days? Ask if I don't get kicked in today, let it cancel. I'm getting another SMS tomorrow anyway. I've just missed out on that one. Are we all there? Yes. That's why it's always preferable that you use the day option. You can use the second option, but waiting 90 days. Because remember this, as soon as you place an order, you are reserving a certain deposit for that order. So you don't want your deposit to stay there when there's other trades going on. Do you understand what I mean? And then when it comes to market, can I use the day option under market? Can you specify how long a trade will stay in the market for? Can I specify it? No. For my people that were here yesterday, when does a trade close? Does a trade close at 5 o'clock? Can you repeat that? A trade will only close once the target is hit, once the stop loss is hit, or if you decide to close a trade yourself. I want you to avoid that word day, because that's where a lot of people make a mistake. Because if I place a trade today, and by 5 o'clock, my target or stop loss is not hit, or I haven't closed the trade goes over to the next day, and the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year. Because a lot of people think, oh, it's almost 5 o'clock, I need to close this trade. And you end up closing it on a loss. So you can't specify how long a trade will stay in the market for. Your trade can reach the target in 2 weeks, can reach the target in 3 weeks, or the stop loss in 3 weeks. You must just know that a trade will only close once the target is hit, once the stop loss is hit, or if I decide to close it myself. And when I say if I decide to close it myself, this is what I mean. Let's say you are in front of your computer, or you have your phone with you. You are actually watching this trade. Okay? You check it in an hour's time. I'm losing 100 Rand. Put it back in your pocket. You check again. Okay, I'm making 300 now. Okay. You put it back. Let's say your target is to make 1,000 Rand. And you see that you are now making 900. Do you want to risk it for 100 Rand, or do you want to take your money and run? Take your money and run. The target is not guaranteed. The share might get within 1 Rand of your target and go back down. At some stage, you are making 900. When you check again, you're losing 200. Are you not going to beat yourself up? So that's what I mean when I say close a trade yourself. Sometimes you need to take profits. And let me tell you something. No one ever got broke from taking small profits. You need to understand that. So, like I remember 2 weeks back, there was a lady that came to me. Like, can you please check what's going on here? I analyzed that after the brokerage fees, she's making 200. You should have seen the joy in her face. Please help me close. I'm like, are you happy with 200? Yes. You understand what I mean? People have different targets. We have different accounts. Some of us are happy with taking 200. Some of us are happy with taking 2,000. Just depends on what type of trader you are. So when it comes to market now, you cannot use the day option. It does not apply. You can use what? What does it say there? Which one can you use? GTC. Do you remember under limit, GTC stands for good till cancel? Under market, GTC stands for good till close. It's good until you close it, or until it closes automatically when it hits the target or the stop loss. Are we all together so far? Yes. What is the difference between a trade and an order? What is the difference between a trade and an order? What do you think the difference is? A trade is immediate, it's live. I'll come to you and ask you, how much are you making from your trade? That's when you tell me I'm making this amount of money or I'm losing this amount of money. A trade is in, it's now. An order is waiting to become a what? A trade. The trade is in, the order is waiting to go in when that price you specified is reached. Are we all together? Yes. If I come to you and ask you, how is your order doing? That's when you tell me, I'm still not kicked in yet. It hasn't hit my end. Are we all together? Yes. So if someone was to come to you and say, how much did you make from your order? Fix them. It's not an order, it's a trade. Are we all there? Yes. And then I ask you, can I cancel a trade? Can I go into a restaurant, eat, and not pay? Don't try that. You end up in the fridge. Because remember, once it's a trade, you have already been charged to enter. You are also going to get charged to exit. So I can't place a trade and say, oh, I made a mistake, let me cancel. I can only close a trade. You close a trade. Are we all there? Can I cancel an order? Yes. I'm tired of waiting for this order. It's not kicking me in. Let me cancel it, or it will cancel automatically at 5 o'clock. Are we seeing the difference between these two? Yes. Wait, remember, you got charged when you entered. You are going to get charged when you exit. Commission in and commission out. We'll touch on the commission fees and how they are calculated on Thursday when we do the risk and the reward. Are we all there? Yes. Just to make sure this sticks in your mind, I'm going to make a practical example. If I go to Debonair's right now, and I'm only buying a Coke, do I get the Coke immediately or do I have to wait? At Debonair's, it's immediate, right? I have the money, the Coke is in the fridge, it's an instant trade. What order type is that? Guys, let's wake up. What order type is that? Market order type. It's instant, it's now, it's a trade. If I order a pizza at Debonair's, I get a slip with a number, right? Yes. Let's say that number is 50. If 50 is not called out, do I get to eat? No. If Debonair's closes at 5 o'clock, My 50 is still not called out. Do I get to eat? My order is just canceled. I get a refund. Probably fired to the manager. But you understand that if that number is not called out, you don't eat. If the value you specified you want to enter at is not reached, you do not get into a trade. Are we all there? Now it's easy to understand this theoretically. Let's see if you guys can actually apply it practically now. Let's get to business. I'm going to use my demo account because I want to play some trade. Give me a second. So, can you write the example I have down on the chart here? It says NTC buy at 26.31. NTC buy at 26.31. That's the SMS we just received now. NTC buy at 26.31. Let's write it down. Buy at 26.31. So please help me out here. First things first, am I on the right company? NTC, right? Do I click on buy or do I click on sell? Because the SMS says what? Buy. We said we're going to use a default quantity of what today? Everything we're going to just say 100 shares. Okay? Now my question to you is, do you buy from the buyers or do you buy from the sellers? From the sellers. So we're looking at the red amount. Whenever you are buying, you're looking at that red amount, okay? The SMS says buy where? Buy at 26.31. Where is the share right now? 26.33. Am I going to use market or am I going to use limit? Is it market or limit?
Market.
For the people that say market, why? The bus is still just here. It's still within a vicinity of 10 cents above or 10 cents. So I can just say market. Market goes with GTC. I place. I say yes. Do you see I went straight into the market? At what price did I enter at? 26 what? 83 at the current price right now. Are we all there? Yes. Well, let's say you get an SMS and it says NTC buy at 24.50. That's what the SMS says now. NTC buy at 24.50. Okay? Help me out here. Just want to do something. First things first. Am I on the right company? No. Let's not get used to saying yes. No. No. I'm on the wrong company. How do I get the right company? Can I go click on the watch list? And it changes to NTC. Do I click on buy or do I click on sell? The SMS says what? So I click on buy. How many shares? We said 100 shares for today. Am I buying from buyers or am I buying from sellers? The SMS says buy where? 24.50. Where is the share right now? Is the share not gone?
It is gone.
Are we going to chase the bus?
No.
What order type do we use now?
Limit.
Limit. Limit goes with what? J or GTC?
J.
What do I put under price?
24.
I click on place order. It confirms I'm doing a buy on limit and day. I want 100 shares from NTC, and I only want them at 24.50. I say yes. I've just placed an order. Are we together?
Yes.
Or let's say you get an SMS, and the SMS says NTC buy at 29 Rand. NTC buy at 29 Rand. Okay? Am I on the right company?
Yes.
Do I click on buy or do I click on sell?
Buy.
We said 100 shares, right?
Yes.
Am I buying from buyers or am I buying from sellers?
Yes.
So we're looking at the red amount. The SMS says buy where? Where is the share right now? Has the share arrived yet? Can I catch a bus if it has not arrived yet? Can I catch a bus in Midrand if I'm here in Woodmead? In this case, you just have to wait. You don't use market, you don't use limit, you just have to wait for the share to get close to your price. Because look at this. If I choose limit and I specify 29, I'm going to get an error. What does it say there? It's basically telling you, you cannot use limit if the share has not arrived at your price yet. You only use limit when the share has already passed the price that you want. That's the only time you can use limit, when the share has already passed. If it has not arrived yet, you just have to wait. And it also goes to say, order will be filled immediately. So if you click on yes, you will get kicked in immediately at the current market price, of which you don't want. You want to enter as close to the values that are given to you by the SMS as possible. There's a reason as to why we say enter at that position. And on Friday, when we do the technical analysis, you are going to understand that better. Are we all together?
Yes.
So those are the 3 golden rules. I'll give you a chance to write down. You only use limit when the share has already passed the price that you want. So don't write it down yet. You only use limit when the share has already passed. You only use market if the share is just here or within 10 cents above or 10 cents below. If the share has not arrived yet, you just simply have to wait. So let's write down the 3 golden rules. Write down the 3 golden rules. Give you another minute. Okay, shall I continue? Is it understandable? Are you sure? So what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you a few trades. I'll do the first one with you guys. And then from there, I'm going to get a volunteer to come sit here. And you guys are going to tell the volunteer what to do. I'll just pick anyone randomly. If I see that you look scared, I'm going to choose you. If I see a fake smile, I will choose you. If you're making yourself busy, I'm going to choose you. So let's just prepare for that. So, let me do this. Let's say you get an SMS. Yes. Check this, I'm not sure. I can check for you. We'll check on the website tomorrow. Please just bring it up tomorrow, ShopRite, yeah? Just remind me. You get an SMS that says SHP buy at 197, take profit at 210, and your stop loss at 193.60. Just write this SMS down. SHP buy at 197, take profit 210, stop loss 193.60. Stop loss 193.60. Okay, I need everyone to give input now. First things first. Am I on the right company?
No.
What do I do? Okay. Do I click on buy or do I click on sell? So we're on buy. What is our quantity? Okay. Am I buying from the buyers or am I buying from the sellers? So we're looking at the red amount. The SMS says buy where? Where is the share? Has the share left or has the share not arrived yet? It has left. What order type do I use? Limit goes with what? What do I put under price? Can you see where it says SL? I click on it. What is our stop loss? What is my take profit? And you see that when I put in my stop loss, it tells me I stand to lose how much? 340 if the stop loss is hit. How much am I going to make if the target is hit? Is that a good or a bad trade? It's a good trade, right? But please don't forget something here. The fees are not included in those values there. But like I said, we'll work with the fees on Thursday. Okay, we'll work with the fees on Thursday, but we like it, am I correct? Can I click on place? And it confirms. You are doing a buy on limit and day. You're placing an order. You want 100 shares from ShopRite. You only want them at what price? 100. What is our stop loss? 100. What is our target? 210. Are we happy? Yes. Then I click on yes. Was that difficult? Is it difficult? I know I make it seem easy. And when you're on your own, you'll be thinking, oh, what did he say? It needs practice. Every time an SMS comes through, go to your demo account and place it. Practice, practice, practice. Are we all there? Yes. So I'm going to give you 2 more trade ideas. If you get these ideas right, I'm going to give you something very nice. If you get them wrong, you are not going home. I need to know that you can actually do this by the end of the session. Are we all together? Yes. Who's my volunteer? Are you volunteering? Are you volunteering? I never choose the volunteers. No, I'm joking. He comes in at the front, eh? And his job is easy. He's going to keep quiet and sit here and look at you guys. You guys must tell him what to do. And it's also your job to tell, hey guys, you must talk. Are we there? Yeah. Let me give you guys an SMS.
And also you must correct that.
No, I'm going to keep quiet and I'm going to be on WhatsApp. Just want to code it up on the screen. Let's write the SMS down. SMS says MTN, buy at 85, take profit at 96, and stop loss is at 81. Buy at 85, take profit 96, stop loss 81. Okay, this is where I go silent. Can you guys, and I need everyone to give input, please. Tell him what to do.
Choose the watch list. The correct company.
Watch list, correct company. Yes. Ticket buy.
100.
And then check on the type.
It's 87. The bus is gone. The bus is gone. Yeah. Limit price.
85. And
Stop loss is 81.
No, 81.
81.
Yes.
96.
96.
Can you play?
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
place
place
the
an
order.
order.
Sure.
Yes.
Are the values right?
Yes, they are.
No.
Stop loss is 81.
Stop loss must be 81.
81.
Yeah. Yes.
Give yourselves a hand. So stay there. I want you to stay there for the next one. Was that difficult?
No.
Give you another SMS. VOD sell at sell at 128, take profit 117, stop loss 132. Write that SMS down. Sell at 128, take profit 117, stop loss 132. Okay, guys, he needs you. Can you tell him what to do?
Go to the Vodacom.
Are we taking the red value or the blue value now? Okay. You want to sell at what price? Where is the share? Has the share left or has the share not arrived yet? Has the share left or has the share not arrived yet? You guys are getting nothing. You guys are getting nothing. Let's do this. We are going to stay here the whole day.
Yeah.
It's too late now. Okay. The SMS says we must sell where? Sell at 128. Take profit. Stop loss. Okay. So we are now doing a sell. 132. We are doing a sell, right? Which way are we going when you're doing a sell? Throw an arrow going down. Where do you want to enter? Throw yourself at 128. Give yourself some hair. Okay? That's where you want to enter. Where is the share right now? Throw the bus there. Give it some rims. Has the share left or has the share not arrived yet? Has the share left or has the share not arrived yet? It's left. Because remember, we are going where now? I am here and the share is already? What order type do we use? Limit, because the share has already passed the price that you want. I know it gets confusing when it comes to a sell, but please draw this. Don't fear what your children might think when they see stick figures in your book. It's going to help you. If you are going up, if you're doing a buy, draw an arrow going up. The SMS says buy at 100. You draw yourself at 100. Don't forget to give yourself hair. Okay? Then you check, where is the share? Has it passed or has it not arrived yet? Are we all there? I ask this again. Is it difficult to place a trade? You just need to pay attention to the details. Go step by step. When you get an SMS, step by step. Are we all there? Yes. So in this case, we said we're going to use what? Limit. Limit goes with? And what price do you want to enter at? What is our stop loss?
132.
What is my take profit?
117.
I place. Can I confirm and say yes? Sell at 128. Stop loss 132. Take profit 117. Can I place it? Yes. We have just placed another order. Are we all together? Yes. Just want to do something here. Do we all understand block 3 now? Yeah. I'll show you now. But I need to confirm, do we understand block 3? So far. So now we are going over to block 4. I'm going to write down a few notes. Let's start with this page. Take your pictures. Let's write down. I'm going to write down first, and then I'm going to explain everything to you. We are on block 4. Are we done with writing this down? Can I go to the next slide? Is that a yes from everyone? Let's write down.
Yes, is the company
Which companies?
yes.
In RJS. But there's plenty of companies, and they also have their own CFD. but we don't trade.
Only to the product.
We trade with South African CFDs, but you can trade with them, right?
Yes,
What is South African? There's also international CFDs. Give you another minute. Okay. Finish off at the end of the session, don't worry. Now, can you all see block 4, this bottom block here? Let me just make it bigger. Can you all see positions?
Yes.
It says here, positions displays what? Open and live trades. That means you are now in the market. You are making money or you are losing money. How many trades am I in? I'm in one trade, right? Netcare. What type of trade did I do? How many shares? Where did I enter? Where is it sitting at? So it's in one place. Am I making anything? No. Because it's exactly where I entered. How much did I get charged to enter? I must just also not forget that there will be another fee to exit. Let me go place another trade. Watch my screen. Shop right. Let me just do a buy. 100 shares. I'm going to use market because I just want to enter now.
Yes.
No one told me where I'm supposed to enter at. I just want to get in. Market goes with what? GTC. But then I don't put a stop loss. I don't put a target. I place. I say yes. You see, I went straight into the market. So for instance, if I go to Standard Bank, how has Standard Bank done so far today? Got up by 11 cents. Let me just do a sell. 100 shares. Market, GTC. I place. I say yes. I just placed 2 trades, am I correct? There they are. But now what's going to happen if you don't have a stop loss or if you don't have a target? You know, when someone says you blow your account, you know that they've blown an account before. But the mere fact that they know that word, blow your account. If the trade keeps going according to your prediction, the sky is the limit. You can make so much money, but you physically have to close that trade yourself, because you don't have a target there to close it automatically. But now, if it goes against you and you don't have a stop loss, it's a different story. Your balance is now the limit. You need to understand that as you trade, you will develop skills. Let's say I just put in a stop loss. I don't put in a target. I will close this trade when I'm happy with what I'm making. Or I just put a target there and I don't put a stop loss because I don't want to get kicked out at all. You get distracted for 5 hours. When you come back, your account is sitting on minus 3,000. Be honest with me. Are you going to close a trade while losing 3,000 Rand? Be honest. Are you going to click on that close button that let me take this loss? You'll never. You get down, you start praying, you start hoping it goes back to where it was. While you are praying, it keeps going down, down, down. And once you are losing 80% of your money, you automatically get kicked out. You're left with 20% of your balance. You don't want that to happen to you. You don't want to blow an account. I know this from experience. I remember 2 years back, I placed my trade. I went into my class. I was confident. I did a buy. While I was in the class, some news came out that I didn't know about. When I came back to my desk, 20% left. So I went and withdrew my money. Okay. You know, we have different ways of dealing with depression. I bought myself some things to deal with the depression. Okay. I regrouped, gathered my money again, and I funded my trading account again. You don't want it to happen to you. Always have a stop loss. Just say, I'm only willing to lose 200 Rand for this trade and put it there. Are we together? Yeah. But now if you forget to put a stop loss, and if you forget to put a target, don't panic. Watch my screen. What does it say there? To modify the take profit or? What is the first step?
Select the position, right-click options, click on modify.
So while I'm already in the trade, I can just go and select the position, right-click for options. Can you see where it says modify? Then I can add a stop loss. Then I can add a target when I'm already in the market. You don't get charged to do so. Another thing you can do is, let's say you enter a trade at 100 Rand. Okay? You have a stop loss at 95. When the share goes up to 120, you can follow to your stop loss and put your stop loss at 115. Okay. So that if it does come back, it kicks you out and you are still on profit. Yeah. It's something that you can also do. So you can modify the target, you can modify the stop loss when you're already in the market. Or if you see that your trade is doing very well, it's about to hit your target, you can raise your target up further to make more money. But that's where greed kicks in. Yeah. Take your money and run. So let me repeat that. You select the position, right-click for options, and you click on modify position. And then do you remember I said you can close the trade yourself? Yes. That's when you take your money and run. Because if you can just leave it there and it hits the target, it will close automatically. If it hits the stop loss, it will close automatically. But let's say I just want to take my profit and run. To close the trade yourself, what does it say? I select the position. I right-click for options. Can you see close position? Yes. Then it pops up this box here. It's telling me, okay, you are making 24 Rand right now. That's when you check, okay, my fee in is 30 Rand. My fee out is 30 Rand. Can I close this trade? No. I haven't covered my fees as yet. But let's say I just want to get out. I'm happy. I just click on close. And you see that it disappeared instantly. So you can close a trade yourself. Everything you've made is instantly added to your balance, or whatever you have lost is instantly subtracted from your balance. There's another way of closing a trade. Can you see where it says close selected there? But you see that it's blank. But look at what happens when I click on SPK. You see close selected appears. But look at this. You see what just happened? Didn't even warn me. Just close automatically. I think the only time I would use that option to actually close a trade is if I see that I'm making 500. Then out of the blue it jumps to 5,000. I close. Take that profit and go. Are we all together? But use the normal recommended way. Select the position, right click for options and click on close position. Are we all together? Yes. And then you see this next tab here, working orders. What does it say for working orders? Working orders displays what?
Pending orders.
Pending orders. Do these not look familiar?
They do.
Did you not place an order with Vodacom? We want to enter where?
At 128.
For a sell, right? Where's Vodacom now?
126.
I'm still waiting. With MTN, we wanted to enter where? The share is still where? It's still waiting. So whenever you use the limit order time, it will go straight to working orders because it's waiting to get into the market. Once my price is reached, it jumps from working orders and goes straight into positions and become a trade. Because remember, market, it goes in instantly to positions. Limit, it waits first for your price. Once your price is hit, it jumps and goes to positions. If by 5 o'clock, my 85 is not hit, the order will just cancel and disappear. There's no charges because you never entered the market. Are we together? Positions, it's live. Working orders, it's waiting to get into the market. Can you see field orders here? What does it say under field orders? Field orders displays what? Closed trades. So, do you remember we just closed a few trades? I just closed ShopRite, right? Now look at this. On that date, the 4th of December, at 12:24, I did a trade with ShopRite. What type of trade did I do? How many shares? Where did I enter? 199. So when I place a trade, I get a confirmation. When you exit the trade, you get another confirmation. You see here at 12:30, SHP, do you see that it changed to sell? I entered with a buy, it changed to? Now the theory behind that is, how do you close a buy? By selling, right? How do you close a sell? Because it's either you buy low and sell high, or it's either you sell high and buy low. So don't get confused and think that you place two trades. One is confirming where you entered, one is confirming where you exited. Are we all together? You first check the date and check the time. Okay, I know I entered at that time. I closed it at that time. I entered at 199.13. I closed it at 199.26. Are we all together? Do you see where it says from login? I can click there and say I want to click see my closed trades for the whole year. It will run a report of all the trades that I've closed this year, or this month, or this week. You just use that option there. Are we all together? And the last thing I want to show you is how to run a report for your trading account. Because let's say I want to track all my trades every 2 weeks. I can run a 2-week report just to check how I've been doing within that 2 weeks. How do I go about it? Let's see. What does it say? To run a report, what do you do?
Click on account.
Click on reports. Choose the type of report.
So let's do it. Can you see on the menu bar where it says account?
Yes.
I click on account and I click on reports. What type of report do you want to run? Maybe I want to see my open positions. That's my open trades. Or I want to see a trades report, the trades that have closed already. I will just click on trades report. You see I get a calendar there. I want to see all my closed trades from the 1st of July until today. And I just click on get report. Okay, the internet. 1st of July, get report. It will run a report of all the trades that have closed since then. As you can see, that's Forex, USD, ZAR, Euro, JPY. That's a live account. Don't say, you don't know whether I made money or whether I lost money from these trades. Are we all together? So it will run that report for you. Can you see next to get report, there's a drop down arrow. I can print my report, export it to PDF, Microsoft Excel, export to HTML. You can run a report that way. So if you've never heard of HTML, humble yourself and just leave it. You know, the IT guys will know. Can I modify my quantity? When I'm already in a trade, I can't. Let me show you something. What is the company then? How many shares did I buy? Okay. How much is my fee? If you want to add shares, for NTC, buy, let's say I want to add 150 shares to this trade. I place, I say yes. Do you see what happened there? But you also see what happened there. You added another fee in and another fee out because you placed another trade. Be careful. Always check, am I not already in a trade with this company before you place? Are we all together? And that is basically what we cover for today's session when it comes to the laptop display, the computer display. I'm pretty sure most of you are going to use your mobile devices, right?
Yes.
You're going to use your phone.
Yes.
So if you can already log in, if you've tried to log in and you are successful, please log in on your mobile device. Let's log in on our phone. I'm not going to keep you here for longer than 20 minutes. The phone is much easier to use, especially when you understand this. You need to know how to work with both. So if you can already log in, please log in. If you don't even know what ProTrader looks like, go sit next to your neighbor that is logged in. Look for a neighbor that is already logged in. And I don't want you to worry. I'm also going to display it on my screen. I'm also going to display it here. I don't want you to panic. Demo or live, it's fine. Just don't click on buy or click on sell if you're on your live account. So I'm going to open it here on my screen. So when you log in on your phone, this is how your display is going to look like when you are using a small cell phone. You'll see watch list, positions, orders, account, news, event log, settings, and logout. I'll show it just now. Okay. Just waiting for it to load. Are your neighbors logged in? And you know, some neighbors won't log in because you guys are going to see my balance now. Can you all see the icon Pro Trader? You should all have this icon on your phones. But if I was to delete this app by mistake, where can I download it from? If I delete it on my phone by mistake, where can I download it? If you're using an Android device, you go to your Play Store. It's this icon here that looks like this on your phone. Let me just wait for it to. Can you see this icon here? Or you go to your App Store if you are using an iPhone. Are we together? So I click on my Pro Trader. And I will get to my login screen. Just waiting for it to load up. Can you all see the login screen? That's where you put in your username. That's where you put in your password. And if you want to save your password, you just click on that box there. Now, the first question you're going to ask me, how do I access my demo account on the phone? Look to the bottom right corner of the screen. Are we all looking? Do you see that settings button there?
Yes.
When I click on that settings button, I will choose if I want to use my live account or if I want to use my
Demo.
You choose the one that you want to use, and then you just press your back button. Are we together? You have both the demo and the live on one app. You just have to select the one that you need to go to. So I'm going to log in here. In fact, let me log in on the demo. Select demo, I go back, I log in. I'm going to do something here. So do you remember when I said, when you are using your phone, this is your display because you have a smaller screen.
Yes.
My display is a tablet display. That's why all these icons are on one side like this. I have a bigger display. So I log in and I get to this point. What is the first thing we must do here? What do you think the first thing is?
Watch list.
Is it not the watch list?
Yes.
We need to add some companies on our watch list, right?
Yes.
So, just give me a second. Can we just quickly write this down? Take our pictures, let's write it down. Pardon? Oh, you really want it? No. South African CFDs. South African CFDs. Should we just know? ETF. Click on the ETFs. What is the first company you see there? The right ones. Check it out. On the demo, it can be named like differently as opposed to the live. Yes. Okay. I'll give you another minute, and then we'll go through it together.
By selecting
Okay. We'll just log in again. So what is the first step when I want to add a company on the watch list? Click on watch list, yes. Can you all see the pen and paper? Okay, and what do I do next? Can you see JSE Equity CFDs? That's the one you want to choose. Okay. And let's say, for instance, I want to add Anglo-American. Okay, let me just do this. Working on the live. Click on the pen. I scroll down. Which one do I go to? Give me a second. JSE what? CFDs. It can be named different on the demo as opposed to the live. But you want to go for the JSE CFDs. What is going on here? You see what keeps happening? Someone keeps kicking me out. Someone is logging into my account. And you can only be logged into one device at a time. It should be that boy, Damien. I'm going to go beat him up now. So I want to see AGL. I can just select it. Anglo Gold, I scroll down. I just basically want to add all the companies that I want. And on the mobile device, there's no limit as to how many shares you can actually add on your watch list. Are we together? Okay, I'll be right back. We'll go sort this boy out. My knuckles are so big. Okay, let's see. Can you see they are added now? Because I selected them. I click on the pen. JSE CFDs. And kicked out again. Let's see if I know that here. Okay. So it's JSE CFDs. And let's also want to add MTN, but I don't want to scroll all the way down now. Can you see the search button there on top?
Yes.
I can just type there MTN. Which one do I choose? CFDs. Want to add NetBank? I just type NetBank there. Which one do I want? CFD. And then once you've added all the ones that you want, you just press your normal back button. Or if you're using a phone, you'll notice to the top left corner, there's 3 lines there that take you back to the main menu. So I can just close that.
Oh, yes.
And the companies are now added on my watch list. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes.
After select all the companies on the mobile.
Just press your back arrow. Go back normally. And you'll notice the companies are now added on your watch list. So we know how to add a company. How do you think we remove a company? Do I long press? Nothing's happening. Can I right click? You right click on your phone?
No.
That's at first. You can right click on your phone. The same way you add it is the same way you remove. Look at my screen. I click on the pen. And I just deselect the one I don't want. To add, you select. To remove, you just deselect. Are we all together?
Yes.
And then, can you see, all you see if you are using a cell phone is just the companies. You don't see the chart yet because you have a smaller device. Now, for instance, if I want to see the chart of MTN, just tap on MTN on your watch list and you'll notice the chart will appear. Yes. Are we all together? Now, let me just get the light here. Now, below or above your chart, can we all see these values here? Bid, spread, ask, last. Can we see them? Just above or just below your chart? Let's go through it. What is bid? Who remembers what bid is? Bid is the buyer's price. Ask is the seller's price. Do you see that there's a spread in between? Can you see where it says spread? What do you think the spread is? What do you think that spread is? We're getting deep now. The spread is the difference between the bid price and the ask price. It currently says 11 ticks. That means the difference between the two prices is 11 cents. If I go back to my screen, do you see this? We have bid, okay, right? We have bid and we have ask, right? The difference between the two prices is what? 2 cents. That's what the spread is, the difference between the bid and the ask. And then, can you see last? Who remembers what the last price is? Can you repeat that? Yeah, you have a good memory. Everyone is still thinking, ooh, last price. Do you remember you wrote it down? Last price is the current trading price. Right now, MTN is trading at 87 Rand 28. It's the current price of that company as we speak. Are we together? Can you see previous close? What do you think the previous close is? I can't hear you when you whisper.
Amount I got out.
The previous close, no?
The price they can charge.
Previous price it closed that way? At 5 o'clock yesterday, it closed at that price. And I want to avoid the word yesterday because if it was Monday, I can't say it's yesterday's closing price because that would be Sunday. It's the previous trading day's closing price. Are we all together? Can you see open? What is the opening price? I don't want to, I see the value as well, but what is the opening price? The price where it opened at 9 o'clock this morning. Can we see high? What is the high? The highest that the share went up to since when? 9 o'clock this morning. And who wants to guess what the low is? The lowest that the share has gone down to since 9 o'clock this morning. So when you want to place a trade, you just want to see and go through those values to see, okay, what is going on with this company today? Let me just check. Now, can you see that on my chart? I can already change the time period of the chart from 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, etc. If you are using your cell phone, you don't see the chart as yet. There's an icon below the chart which looks like this with 3 candlesticks. There's an icon that looks like that below your chart.
Yes.
If you want to change the time period of your chart, you click on that icon there. Now, it's below your chart. You just click on it, and then you'll notice that you can actually change the time period of your chart now.
Yes.
I'm sure the default is on 1 minute. You can change that time period as you want. 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, etc.
Yes.
Are we together?
Yeah.
If you want to make your chart full screen, if you're using a cell phone, you just simply rotate your phone. Rotate your phone and you'll notice that it will automatically switch to full screen. First, click on this icon. First, click on this icon here. Then rotate your phone now. If you are using a tablet, there's the full screen button there. You see that small box? And I click on that to go back as well. Are we all together?
Yes.
Do you see that settings button above my chart?
Mhm.
If it doesn't move, then you must go to your phone settings and enable that auto rotate. Yeah, iPhones are deep. Check it out. Can you see the spanner above my chart? You see that spanner there? If I click on it, can you see that I can now change the type of chart that I want? I can switch from line chart, bar chart, candlestick, and area chart. But let me just select the candle, and I will just go back. So far, are you finding it difficult to use the mobile?
No.
Can you see that everything is just here? So let me go back to my watch list and click on MTN. Below the chart, can we all see the trolley with a plus? This is now your order entry. Does it not look familiar? The first thing you see is symbol, right? You need to make sure you are trading with the right company. Can you see bid or ask? If I'm doing a buy, do I buy from buyers or do I buy from sellers? You always buy at the red, you always sell at the blue. What are the two order types that we have? Market and
Limit.
Can you briefly explain market to me? Market is immediate. You enter now at one of these two prices. If I'm buying, I enter immediately at that. If I'm selling, I enter immediately at that. Can you explain limit to me?
Wait.
You set the price that you want to enter at. And you only get kicked in once that price is reached. Does limit go with day or GTC? Can go with both. Day or GTC. And market? Just GTC. And when I scroll down further, there I put in my stop loss. There I put in my target. And I can place and get into the market. So let me just place a random trade here. Okay, but I'll just leave it. I already have a trade in there. It's fine. Is this difficult? The TR offset.
Yes.
Ignore the TR offset. It's for Forex. You just focus on the SL price and the TP price, and then you can get into the market. Are we all there? Just give me a second. And then can we see positions? You just, you mustn't even tick the TR offset. Just give me a second, sorry. Can we all see where it says positions? Remember, our first icon is what? The watch list. The second icon is what? What are the positions for? What do you see under positions? Who remembers? What do you usually see under positions? Open and live trades. I am currently in how many trades? Netcare and Old Mutual, right?
Yes.
What type of trade did I do for Netcare? A sell. Can you see the red arrow? What type of trade did I do for OMU? You can see it with the blue arrow. It says there, NTC, I sold how much? How many shares? One. At what price?
24.
Where is the share? I said it's going down, but instead it's going where? It's going against me. OMU, I bought one share at what price? 22 what?
71.
Okay, it's not changing my internet, but it's fine. You see what I mean here? Now I just want to explain something. So that you don't get confused when you are on your own. When you enter a trade, you will instantly be on a minus because you're getting charged to what? To enter. So let's say you got charged 30 Rand to enter. That's what you'll see. You'll see minus 30 Rand. Are we together? Now when this value goes down, 20, 10, and when it gets to 0, it becomes green. That means you have covered your first fee. When it becomes green and it's on 0, it means that you've covered your fee in. You just need to cover your fee what? Out. So let's say your fee out is also 30 Rand. Now it's green. Once you pass 30 Rand, that's the profit you start making. Are we together? So whenever you get in, you'll be on minus 46 Rand, for instance. It goes down and gets to 0. That means you've covered your first fee. You are going to cover your second fee, and then you start making profit from there. Are we all together? I don't want you to get confused when you actually meet up with that. Okay. And then can you see that you can actually modify? Remember, on the laptop, you can also modify your stop loss or target. And if you want to take your money and run, you see the close button there. That's how you close the trade yourself. Just make sure you covered the fee in, you've covered the fee out. Can we see orders? I have no orders there, but orders, remember working orders. Do you remember this part here? What do the working orders display? The limits, right? The pending ones. So whenever you place an order, you will see it under working orders. It's waiting to get into the market. Who remembers field orders? Field orders displays the closed trades. And you see that I have a calendar there. I can specify from when I want to see all my closed trades. Do you see history? History is basically a history of everything I've placed, whether it went in, whether it canceled, but I will see it under history. Are we all together? Yes. The next icon, accounts. Can you see that I have today and I have activity? Under today, it will tell you what has happened in your trading account since 9 o'clock. If you placed the trade and you got charged 30 Rand to enter, you'll see minus 30. If you close the trade and make 500, to summarize, 500 minus 30, you'll see positive 470. It's today's progress. And under activity, you will see a summary of all your open trades, the ones that are currently live. If you are in 10 trades, for instance, it will tell you that from these 10 trades, you are actually making this or you are losing this amount of money. It's a summary of all your trades. Are we all there? Yes. You see the news? When you are on your live account, the news won't appear automatically. But when you're on the demo, they just appear so you can actually read about it. But when you're on the live, on top it will say none. You just click on none and choose the JSE MD news. And then the news will appear like this. I think we all know how the news are important when it comes to our trade. In tomorrow's session, we are going to cover what we call fundamentals. Okay, don't look at me like I'm deep or clever. You are going to learn about it. Fundamentals is basically the news. How to apply the news on our trading. It's also an important class. Are we together?
Yes.
Can we see event log?
Yes.
Event log is basically a summary of what I've done in my account since I've logged in. If you place a trade, it will tell you at this date, at this time, you placed the trade. At this date, at this time, you modified your stop loss. At this date, at this time, you closed your trade. But once you log out and log back in again, the event log is clear. It's just like your phones. When you go to your SMSs, your phone is recording. At this date, at this time, you viewed your SMSs. At this date, at this time, you took a picture. Once you switch your phone off and you switch it on again, that event log is clear. Are we there? Then we have settings. That's where you manipulate what you want to see or what you don't want to see on your trading platform. You can leave your settings as they are, because those are the default settings. And then we have the logout button. You want to log out from your trading platform. Because if you just minimize, your data is also being minimized in the background. Just keep that in mind. So you want to log out, and if you want to check something, you just log back in. Are we all there?
Yes.
And that is it for today's session. I know it's a lot to cover in one day. It's a lot, but you have notes. I expect you guys to practice. When I come here Thursday and we want to play some trades, I don't expect for you guys to not know how to add a company on the watch list. You must come here prepared. Start practicing, going through your notes, going through market, go through limit, so that you actually understand. And please, can we fill in the evaluation forms? Okay, you can rate the session. If you feel that the session was good, you can give me a 5. If you feel that it was very bad, you give me a 0. Please don't give it to my hand, just drop it there if it's a bad comment. I don't want to see it, but please fill this in. If you didn't receive it, you can just print it out to your neighbors. And before you leave today, please sign the register. I'll send around some registers. And if you weren't here yesterday for Monday's session, you can come get some notes here at the front. And another way that you can actually catch up is watching our recording. All our sessions are recorded. So if you feel that I missed out on Monday, you can get the recording. Let me just show you how you're going to go about it. Okay, wait, I'll show you which notes you must take. Just give me a second. So if you want to get these videos, if you want to get the recordings and watch it at home, if you want to catch up on yesterday's class that you missed, you just add Jacques on your phone and send him a WhatsApp message. Just say, add me, and also just write links. He's going to send you the links of all the recordings that we have. Okay, like I said, let me just hand out the register here. Before you leave, please just sign the register. It's going to go around. The first side, okay. I just want to stop the recording now. For everyone that's online, thank you very much for joining. If you have any questions, you can just call in and ask for Afrika. Thank you very much.